A man who fears death may not be satisfied with how he's living. But if you live amongst the walking dead, then the afterlife gains a new definition. It's alarm, like the smell of battle wounds in a kitchen. When flesh cooks amongst niggas who ain't eating, you develop a hood cannibalism. And hell is like the barbecue everybody gonna attend. Bring your pitchforks, we the main course. Everybody going dig in, obese in our mind frames. No longer paying attention to when the clocks change, because our stomachs are the avenue. The rumbling awakes us before the rise of dawn to the stench of a walking carcass of a dope fiend entrapped in crumbled dollar bills and a young boy selling death in a red tee. The same color his mother noticed, hanging in his closet. As she sashayed up the stairwell to hand him another recruitment letter to college. Today, the last letter dangles from Scott shaping his wall like a struggling flag to a sinking ship. And we asked him, why don't you want to sail on a free ride? His response, a mere shrug, and that the bloods are thicker than water. If you ever stare into the eyes of a child who gives up everything for nothing, you know there is something infectious in the air we receive. Maybe that's why we refer to cool things as being ill. The air, it's your enemy if you don't breathe right. My brother's lungs now resemble an asthmatic conflict behind bars. It is the fight that makes them feel alive, a zombie created in a community called Parkside in a city called Camden. My hood is a 19-year-old corner boy with hair like wool and feet the color of brass. God taken out of a God, a place of worship on East Block, but Jesus has amnesia.
Come on now.
Is this Auschwitz? Some other era. But the ovens are barely working. Or 1994 Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die disc, considered a classic, still circulating in the earth speakers, or a schoolboy from the suburbs screaming Tupac's back. It is beyond your statistics. It is gangster rap casualties creating college courses and a lure for death when nobody really wants to die. There is a reason why studies haven't figured out the cure for gods, because our hoods have a cluster of golden children not taught how to shine. Light taken out of light. A Mary on each block, but her womb has amnesia. And see, a soldier can lose a limb. A human replaces heart. But block a vessel of its light, the entire world goes dark. And some people are too jealous to admit we sit on thrones. So instead of pitching light, they rather throw stones, and our gods become injured. We don't feel like we deserve it. Withering in our war zones where the wounds feel worth it, and memories of who we are eventually go faint. Scars acquired by zombies make us feel like saints. How ironic. How polluting to all that we breathe. If we can't inhale what's right, we can't exhale our gifts. Good becomes diminished. The entire world shifts. This planet is like New York City. Our hoods are meant to stand tall. This is what happens when a corner boy falls. God's image beneath ground zero, barely able to climb above. This is beyond an excuse to be more. This is love taken out of love. I've been here before. I understand the allure. Put love back where love began, and we can accomplish so much more. You may not have been there before, but you can feel the allure. Put love back where love began, and we can accomplish so much more. Show our gods that they are where love begins, and we can put light back into light. Stop gravitating towards the dark, and together we can reach for so much more. Now, I've only performed this in Philly, and they treated me like a little charity case when it was over, but they loved it. So if y'all treat me like a charity case, it's fine. In case I forget, it's Miss Wise, MSWISE. I'm on Twitter at Miss Wise, so you can stay in touch. And I like people. I love people, and I have an email list, and I have hugs. That's all free. And I have CDs. Yeah, I have CDs, and they're 10. If you don't have 10, let me know. Let me know, not because I'm desperate and I need money. It's like because people be afraid to tell you they don't have $10. I understand that shit. So just let me know, and it's totally fine. You know, shit happens. And I take credit card, blah, 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 blah.
That's right.
Here's my scary poem. All right. Yeah, it's scary. This time, there will be a celebration. They will speak of deliverance, say, God is good, as if he wasn't the last time. This time, There will be talks of babies out of my vagina, as if babies couldn't come out of my vagina before. My mother will pick up the phone, call all of her friends proud, make plans for a dinner party I am not invited to. This was never about me this time. They will rejoice. Ask about marriage plans before they memorize his last name, but at least they will memorize his last name. My friends, the straight ones, will utter violent words, say, I'm glad you no longer think you are a man. And with all the pain shooting from my toes, I want to yell out, no, I never thought I was a man, but being with a man doesn't make me feel any more like a woman this time. My friends, the not so straight ones, will utter violent words at dinner parties and rallies which I am no longer invited to, because this was never about me. And when they are forced to look me in the eyes, they will keep their words tucked in a safe space, smile, and say, it's okay. Sexuality is fluid. They will strip me from every poem, protest. They will not ask me if he is a phase. My straight friends will say, girl, I knew all that was a phase. I will be an animal in the middle of a cage ring while they all stare, fixated on a phase that fits them best. They would cheer me on. They would cheer me off. Both sides will have made me examples of what not to do. But my father, oh my father, this time, like the last time and all the times before, will pick up the phone, proud. Ask, are you happy? Good. Now, how was your day? My mother couldn't stand that. I wish they could all be like my father. I wish they could all wear their judgments like love. Then maybe they will understand why I always wanted to slip into my father's pants. There is something about love without much restriction. Something about love without many rules and regulations, while still being able to put up with a woman like my mother. For I can recall wanting to punch a girl for trying to kiss me. And I can recall not too long later, when my fist bloomed simultaneously with the first pussy in front of my eyes, that day I plucked all of my fears away. And I can recall a man telling me that I just didn't find the right one. And I wanted to punch the words into his face. If only you knew what women put women through, you would not sound so stupid.
Come on.
And I can recall.
Come on.
And I can recall when my fist tightened simultaneously with the first male erection between my thighs in 8 years, and as we released, I still wanted to punch that man in the face. But I released so many wasted moments, growing infuriated towards those who have only experienced love in limited forms, who haven't swallowed feminism, misogyny, taken fear deep in the back of their throats, and know that holding on to what you know very well is what we all really taste like. With all the experiences shooting from my chest, I want to yell out, this transformation does not define this womanhood. It defines the power to adapt to any love that shelters, houses this heart, feels like home, that only light can build, but no stone can break. This time. I've seen, I've been, I've seen heaven, I've been heaven before. So these words are just a galactic transmission. You see, my life was a poem years before this was written. I found the line somewhere between who I am and who I isn't. Have you greeted the God in you yet? I recall the days I didn't. I recall keeping my black skin hidden from the sky as if the sun isn't my next of kin. I recall being next to him, elevated and apologizing for just now rising like a moon ought to. I am a moon to all sons and daughters, and praise to my father for giving me an American last name I can actually salute for. Wise in all I do for my students, my people, unborn children, my sequels. My heart chakra has been charged and bigged up. Word big ups to my teacher, Amun Mirage L, who said the whole world is sick, we are here to heal. So I sprinkle my star dust like a magician is supposed to, healing the cold from your soul to your shoulders. Wave this wine like my ancestors beyond who brought me over. This is magic, and that clings tight from the stars like celestial static. Do you understand? I recall the days I didn't. I recall feeling the grass scratch my back while he got lost in it. I got a park full of poems for every 15-year-old virgin Isis and Osiris who is lost in every thought beneath the sanctity of their unions and their actual names, unaware of the heaven from which they came, the heaven which they are and shall return. I shall return, B-more. After I once again see God, I shall return. I am not the God, but I peep God, and my presence choose to remain present to all of my he gods and goddesses. Recall that God exists in all of their essence. Do you understand? Have they held to the halo on you yet? Hello, are you yet? I recall the days I wasn't, yet I always was what I now are. Destiny can rock a scar, but it can never be cursed. I bet maybe if I read all of these rhymes in reverse, you will recall all of the things we understood before birth. Overstand. Life will go over your head if you let her. We are born knowing who we are. Some forget how to remember purpose is power. Discover why you land and fly on. The quickest way to destroy your mind is to put it in places that don't belong. And a creator's mind shouldn't dwell in neither time nor space. So why rely on the physical things with the highest highs to create? We elevate in love, searching for wisdom as we rise, seeking enlightenment from the skies, dealing deliverance with our rhymes and seeing signs in all the times that we be trying to heal this world. But I heard the ship gonna come and only some gonna rise. But just maybe, if you listen and keep reversing my poems, you'll remember that we've been here, we have been here long, but this is not our home. Make the impact strong. Carry the messages to the masses, pick up and carry on. Thank y'all so much.